Hello YouTube, this is ODog31 once again with another tutorial. Today we're going to be taking apart one of these spider injectors. This comes off of a 1999 GMC Yukon. The problem we were having was that the throttle body and the injector was keeping the truck from starting. We pour gas into the throttle body and it'll run until the gas is all burned out and it dies out. Well, we was thinking, well, maybe the injectors were bad. So today we're gonna hopefully try to unstop one of these. Well, unstop them all basically. I've already took one of these apart. These are a little bit difficult in order to take off, and I've looked on YouTube and I couldn't find any tutorials on how to take one of these apart. Most of the tutorials will be like putting some type of cleaning solution into the injectors and running it through, but I don't have that kind of money, so I'm gonna have to do this myself, and hopefully I'll get it done right. Well, I've already taken apart one of the poppet nozzle. That's what this is called, a poppet nozzle on there. First I didn't know it, but it's somewhat simple. If you look right on this end right here, you see like this little. Hold on, let me show you one of these damaged. The majority of these are damaged. There's a little divot on here that keeps this nozzle inside of this poppet nozzle. Well, what we're suspecting is either it's clogged up here or somewhere up in here. Well, what we're going to do, we're going to try to flush this out. And the first step is to get this nozzle off. And I'm using an Injector knife in order to do this. And with older vehicles, and if you haven't replaced these can be quite brittle. So you have to be careful not to break this. What I'm doing is I'm putting a little pressure backwards on it and just easing this little tab loose so it'll come off. Not so it'll break, because if you pull it back too far it will break off. I've done it a couple times. So. There it is. Ooh, that's skunked up really bad. Check that out. Well, that's one. We're gonna have to devise a way to flush this completely out. Hopefully that's what's wrong with it, that it's gunked up, and maybe we can get it unstopped. And this is an actual two-part. This is not like any of the other injectors that I've seen. Most of the injectors don't have this little neck on it, and at the end of this neck it's a little valve, and in order for any gas to flow through this, it has to be a certain PSI, and this is the screen to it. And if you look inside here, there you go. You can see that this fits directly inside of here, and it's fed through these. This is the gas intake and outtake ports. And I'm gonna go ahead and take the rest of these off, and we're gonna see you back in a few minutes. Okay, now that we've finished taking off the pockets, what you call it, poppet nozzles, yeah. Now we're gonna do a few tests on it to see if it's burned out or if it's still working. The first test we're gonna do is gonna test the resistance. As far as the manual on it, it's supposed to be within the range of 11.4 to 12.6 ohms. So we're gonna test out each injector. Let me see. We'll turn on our multimeter, connect our cables to the terminal, and let's see what it reads. That one seems like it's good. test another one. Yep. That one's good also. Now, I don't know if y'all can see that. Let me see if I can zoom into it. It's reading about. Let me see. There you go. 12.2. So it seems like every one that I've tested so far seems to be good. Well, let's finish testing the rest of these and then we'll move on to the next test. Okay, the next test we're going to do is involving sending the current through the injector to make sure that it's engaging to let the gas flow through it. And in order to do that, I had to contract some type of way to send a current through it, and I came up with this little contraption. I'm gonna put it together and I'm gonna show you how it works. Well, this is a regular wall socket, wall switch, light switch, on and off, and a couple of alligator clips that I've modified along with a piece of extension cord. And for power, what we're going to use is nah, I'm just joking, we just need the batteries out of them. A 9-volt battery I found is the best way to engage one of these. Hold on, if I can get it out. I need both of them. Yep, all it takes is one 9-volt battery and it should do the trick. Well, it should do what I want it to do anyway. Alright, first thing we do is we connect one to the post. And hold on, you sit still. Sit you over here. Okay, we're fine, lay down. And hook it up to the switch. Okay. Now the second, we use the other terminal. Trying to make sure they're not touching. And on the other end of this, what I did was I just pushed the wire right off up into it. Like that. Push the other one off up into it. Alright. Now, once I turn this switch on, you should hear a clicking noise inside here. The switch shouldn't click at all. Well, I'm going to keep it from clicking in order to so y'all can hear how it sounds when it engages. You hear that clicking noise? That means that it's engaging. Alright, I've tested every one of these and they all engage like they're supposed to. I mean, 9 volts should be sufficient to test any injector to make sure it's engaging properly. Like I said, I did a lot of these. And yep, it's even leaking. There it is. Yeah, that lets me know that it's engaging. But there's a trick to getting the gas to flow out the other end, and I'm gonna show it to you in just a moment. Hold on just a second. Give me just a second. Okay, in this section I'm gonna show you how to get the gas to flow through this valve. Like I said in the beginning, there's a little pressure valve here, and what it is it's a spring that's inside here that keeps it from back flowing in the other direction. But in order to engage it, you have to have a certain amount of psi. I think maybe 50 to 60 pounds per square inch in order for gas to even flow out of this thing. But in order to get it, what I found that I do is I had to take a little piece of thick wire. But first I have to get this out. I use my Injector knife and get the little ball to pop up. And with my thumb, dang it. With my thumb, I just grab it. And if you look at that closely, you can see that it's like a little rod with a ball on the end of it. That's to keep anything from flowing backwards into it. Now, I take this little piece of wire and I kind of fold it around the little bar and bend it upward. That way it can't close completely. That way you can open and close it at will. Alright. Okay, now after I've bent this little piece off up in here, I'm gonna have to cut it. These little wire cutters. Just cut it just enough so you'll be able to take it back loose when you need to. Let me see if I can zoom in on it and show you a little bit what it looks like. Sorry, the video is not really all that good. Let me back up out of it a little bit. But yeah, it's a little ball on the end, a little piece of wire, a little spring in behind it. Alright. Alright. Now, I've already did the rest of these. So, the only thing left is to find a solution to send through it. And we have to hook each one of them up and send the current through it to open up. Now this solution right here is 90% gasoline and 10% rubbing alcohol. I don't recommend you use the same solution. It's just that right now I don't have any money for the cleaning solution that actually goes in this thing. I'm just making sure that the line is completely clear. This is a 60 milliliter syringe, which I modified with a little piece of tubing, rubber tubing, and you can find it at any hardware store. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of the solution in the syringe. Try not to spill any of this. Hate to start a fire. Alright. Get all the air bubbles out of it. Alright. Now, the next step to do, hold on, let me clean this off a little bit. Okay, the next step is we're going to take this syringe and the little piece that we put the wire on, we're going to fit it right over, let me see if you can see that, right inside of there. And see if you can twist it on, like so. Okay. Then you should have a solution there. Alright. And once you press on the plunger, you should get a little resistance because it hasn't engaged here yet. Now, in order to get it to engage to in this end, we'd have to hook it back up to the little contraption that I showed you previously. And let's do that now. And hook my 2 wires up. Let's move that back a little bit. Don't want to waste that. 1 and 2. Alright. I'm gonna hook our positive up and our negative up. Like so. Alright. Now, just to show you that it's flowing back up in here, I'm going to have to hold one end like this and engage it with my left hand, just so it'll flow back into the jar. Alright. It's fully open now. As you can see, it's flowing back into it. That was a full syringe. Just go reverse. Get the rest of it out. Alright. Now it's back closed. And that's how it's done. Voila. Well, let me take that off. Alright, there we go. And I'm going to have to do it to about 7 more of those a few times just to get it to open up. Okay, now that everything has been flushed out, I took the liberty of taking apart the O-ring, the washer, and the filter from each one of these and cleaning them individually. I didn't need to include that into the tutorial because it's not really a must. It's just something that I wanted to do. After that, it's time to reinstall the poppet nozzles on them. And it's real simple. All you gotta do is snap them right back on. Like so. You go ahead and pop each one of these back on, and we'll be ready to reinstall them back onto the module. It's really simple. I mean, when I was looking on YouTube, there was a lot of different tutorials about how to flush out and how to clean your injectors, but I didn't see any as in depth as the one that I just did, as far as taking it apart and putting it back together. And that will conclude it. Now all we got to do is insert them back into their housing, and also clean that out too. It was kind of caked up all on the outside, all on the insides up in here. Oh, there's also a washer and a rod, which is this right here, that inserts inside here. Okay, now that the spider injector is completed, I hope you find this useful. I'm not a certified mechanic, and you use this tutorial at your own risk. I mean, I'm not liable for any damages that you may cause due to this video. If you like it, please check the like box up under the video. If you have any comments, please hit me up at odog31@yahoo.com and let me know what you think about it. Till then, till next time.
Later. Better recognize A-Ball and MJG been 10 toes down in this game since we was 2 young players in a 1-horse town, knee high to a motherfucking grasshopper. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga, my life would have been that got cut off.